Hey everybody, welcome to Flatbread Friday, and I'm having a taco craving today. So our pizza, because I had some ground beef in my freezer and I had some cheese and salsa and all kinds of stuff, and we're gonna make us a taco flatbread pizza. It's kind of not totally flat, the bread. It's one of those long rectangular crusts from BJ's. And let's do it. We're going to begin by seasoning our ground beef to make it taco flavory and crumbled up and browned up. Kelly's eating her dinner. You can hear her in the background. Okay, our beef is in. And we're going to season it up with some salt and pepper. And some chili powder. That's all the chili powder I got. So I'm going to have to get some more. Some cumin. I like a lot. Smoked paprika. You can buy taco seasoning at the store if you want to, but I don't ever. And then I still have some of this cilantro, lime, garlic seasoning. And that's going to give it some liminess and some cilantro-ness and some garlicness. And the last thing we're going to put in is just a touch of cayenne pepper. If you like your tacos real hot, use more than a touch. And now when they start to fry up, we're going to break them up, stir those seasonings in. And if there's a lot of fat left in this pan when we're done cooking this meat, we'll drain it off. While our ground beef cooks, we're going to make our taco pizza sauce. We're going to start with some regular red sauce. Mixed in with some fresh medium salsa. Try to keep it as unliquefied as possible. This pizza crust is pretty big, so we're going to need some sauce, and if we have any left over, we'll find something else to do with it. And we're going to mix it up and make our taco pizza sauce. And when our beef is done, we can build our pizza. Another one of the ingredients, these taco ingredients, is going to be some diced red onion, and I was going to put them on top when I served the pizza along with, lettuce and tomato pieces and stuff like that, the taco stuff. But I think what I want to do is add these to our ground beef and get them seasoned up. I think that'll make them taste real good. And this beef is almost done, and these onions will absorb some of this taco seasoning, and we're gonna keep moving. Our taco meat is all browned up and crumbly, smelling real good, and we're gonna set that aside to cool. There's very little fat in this pan, so I'm not gonna drain this beef because a lot of that fat has a lot of that taco flavor in it. And if you were if you used taco seasoning, you would have had to add some water and boil it down. So it's not too wet. It's going to work out just fine. Our oven is preheating to 400 degrees, and I have laid out our pizza crust, flatbread crust. It's not that flat, so we'll call it a pizza. And now we're going to top it with some sauce. And we already saw the sauce, but that's what it looks like. We're going to start in the middle and spread it out to the edges. We're going all the way out to the edges with this one. So let's see how it goes. There's a lot of indentations in these crusts. And the reason I put this on parchment, what they say on the package that you should cook this directly on the rack, but it gets kind of messy. So I'm putting it on a dark colored sheet pan, which will act like a pizza stone. And I'm preheating that in the oven with the oven on. So that's why we're just on parchment. We'll be just transferring this to that pan when it comes time to bake it up. Our next topper is going to be some shredded mozzarella cheese, and mozzarella isn't Mexican, but it's going to give a nice cheesy base to our taco pizza. And the other cheese that's going on will be cheddar, or you could use, Mexican cheese if you wanted to. I don't happen to have any of that on hand, so cheddar is gonna do it. But right now, it's mozzarella. Our ground beef and onions are all ready to go on. And I'll put them on with my hands because this is a kind of a small shaped crust. So we're going to distribute it evenly. All over the top of this cheese. Our taco meat is on with our salsa sauce and mozzarella cheese. I don't think this is going to work. Nope. We'll do it a different way. Here's what we look like close up. Meaty and cheesy and saucy. And now it's time for our cheddar to go on, and we're gonna bake it up and top it off with some taco toppings. Here comes our shredded cheddar cheese. We gotta bind this meat together on top of this guy, so we're gonna put a pretty decent sized layer on top. We're topped up nicely, and I put this on an upside down sheet pan to transport it over to the oven, but I can't lift it up, so we're gonna look at it the other way again. See how cheesy, saucy, meaty. It is piled high with stuff. It's probably going to be a mess when we take it out. That's why I put it on the parchment. But we're heading over to the oven. Let's do it. Here we are on our dark sheet pan in our oven. We're going to push it in. It's pretty wiggly. And we're going to bake it up. Probably about 15-20 minutes or so. While our pizza cooks, we are going to make some Mexican crema to drizzle on top of it. And we're going to start out with some sour cream. Love me some crema, so I'm going to make a bunch. And followed by about half the amount of mayonnaise as the sour cream. That ought to do it. Okay, mayonnaise in. We're going to season it up with some salt and pepper. And my cilantro plants in my garden are still pretty small, but I got a little fresh cilantro, so that's going in too. Mix this up, incorporate the herbs and the seasonings. That'll be good for now, and then we're going to finish it up. Make it limey and drizzly with some of this delicious organic lime juice from Brazil. It's going to make it so good, and we want to make it the right consistency so it's drizzleable. So let's see how much this will work. We've reached a great consistency. It's pourable, so we can drizzle it on top of our toppings and our taco pizza. And when it's out of the oven, we're going to see what it looks like, cut it up, serve it up, and eat it up. Our taco pizza is out of the oven. Cheesy and bubbly and smelling so good, well seasoned. And now we're going to slice it and serve it. Here is our taco pizza on my favorite little Mexican plate. And it looks real good. And now we're gonna turn it into a more taco style. First thing that's going on is some shredded lettuce. We'll decorate the plate with it too. Okay, lettuce is on, and now we have some diced Roma tomatoes. I'm growing those in my garden, and they won't be ready for a while, but I happen to have some in my fridge, so this might end up being a knife and fork pizza. But the plate will look pretty with some of the vegetables on it, and it'll be like a little side salad too. And here we are with our vegetables. And finally, here comes our crema drizzle. We're gonna start with this piece. And move over to this one. Make the sides of the plate messy, the dish, the bowl. And I think that will do it nicely. And we are now ready to serve. Looking yummy, smelling yummy, and it's gonna satisfy my taco craving. Thank you for joining me for this week's edition of Flatbread Friday. Here is our taco pizza, all topped up and ready to go in. Taco craving satisfied? We'll see you again soon. Have a good one.